Order number 7, questions and statements.
Majority Leader.
Statement. Honorable Speaker, I think I'd rather start with the CDF one.
Whichever you want.
I think in the interest of attention for members, Honorable Speaker, allow me to start with a statement from the National Treasury on CDF, funding of National Government Constituency Development Fund, NGCDF, and the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, GAF. Honorable Speaker, in a letter dated 8th June 2023, addressed to the Honorable Speaker, and they say reference is made to our letter, their letter, referenced AG 1351 volume 4, 76, dated 24 January 2023, and wish to update the House as follows on the status of NGCDF and GAF disbursements. 1, National Government Constituency Development Fund. The NGCDF fund was allocated 47.2 billion shillings in the financial year 2022-2023. The National Treasury has so far disbursed Kenya shillings 18 billion. In addition, a further disbursement of 5 billion shillings is being processed to be released on Friday, that's tomorrow. And a further Kenya shillings 5 billion will be released on Tuesday of next week. This brings the total disbursements to Kenya shillings 38 billion. The National Treasury hopes to clear the outstanding balance of 19.2 billion by the close of the financial year. The delay in keeping up with weekly disbursements of Kenya shillings 2 billion was occasioned by challenges in resource mobilization, both domestically and externally. Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from the heckling from a senior member like the Honorable John Buddy, and he has the liberty to wait for me to read the statement, and he can request, as he knows, to contribute other than heckling, and I'm just reading what is on the statement.
Go ahead.
John Buddy has been here for long enough to know.
Order.
To be a good example to the new members.
Order.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying the delay in keeping up with weekly disbursement of Kenya shillings 2 billion was occasioned by challenges in resource mobilization, both domestically and externally. However, the situation has improved with the disbursement of funds from World Bank Development Policy Operations Facility, which was disbursed this week. 2, on the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, GAF. The National Government Affirmative Fund, GAF, was allocated a budget of 2.13 billion in the financial year 2022-2023. The National Treasury has so far released 50% of this allocation, an amount of 1.065 billion, and is in the process of disbursing the balance of 1.065 billion, constituting the balance of the 50% before the end of this financial year. And as I said, beginning with disbursements tomorrow and Tuesday of next week. Honorable Speaker, it is also worth noting that the National Treasury, in keeping with the commitment made before IBEC and to the nation earlier this week, late last week, and the commitment this week to disburse to our county governments, that from today, Honorable Speaker, the National Treasury has released funds and is releasing funds going to our county governments. In conclusion, the National Treasury remains committed to funding NGCDF, GAF, and our county governments, and other items of interest, both to the members of the public and the honorable members of the National Assembly and the Senate, appreciating the support and collaboration between Parliament and the Executive. You are sincerely, Njuguna Ndungu, Professor CBS, Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury. Honorable Speaker, let me also add, besides that written statement, I've had an engagement this morning, and indeed up to this lunchtime, with CS, National Treasury, Professor Ndungu, who is in Naivasha with the Finance Committee, and he did commit that this statement was coming and asked that we do engage with the Director General, the Director General Accounting Services, Mr. Ndungu, who we have engaged over this lunch hour, and he has confirmed that indeed by tomorrow, as they have committed, he is making arrangements to disburse the 5 billion shillings, and by Tuesday next week, they will have disbursed, another 5 billion shillings. And they commit, Honorable Speaker, saying the challenges have been occasioned by the challenges that we are all aware since we all live in this country. There have been challenges with the exchequer, there has been challenges with receivables in government, Honorable Speaker, and therefore he has committed, with the support that they have now received from the World Bank on that facility that they have, and the tax collections they have made, they continue to mobilize, they will be able to disburse all of CDF, and no amount of CDF for this financial year will be carried forward to the next financial year. And I think, Honorable Speaker, that is very important, so that we do not have arrears. As you are aware, Honorable Speaker, the Budget and Appropriations Committee also did allocate some money towards clearance of arrears. They have also indicated that they will clear those arrears, and they do not intend to carry forward arrears from this year into the next financial year. And he has committed that they will endeavor and ask for your thanks, members of Parliament. He did ask me to ask members of Parliament to indulge them, and thank you for your patience over that time, because many of our constituents have been suffering without CDF, Honorable Speaker. I myself, I was in my constituency over the recess period, and I visited at least 3 schools which, as a result of the heavy rains, pit latrines collapsed. And the children in those schools now are using semi-permanent pit latrines because we didn't have even emergency funds. We had cleared all our emergency money, and therefore I, like every other member of this House, I am looking forward to the disbursement of this money, and hopefully by the end of next week, I can promise the children of Karai Day Secondary School, those